If you've never planted tomato seeds before or just want a refresher, this video is for you. I'm going to take you through what type of tomato seeds I'm planting, why I'm planting them now, and then give a full demonstration on how to plant the seeds. So let's get started. The type of tomato that I'm planting is a Scotia tomato. It's a determinate tomato that grows 3 to 4 feet in height, and it produces a tomato that looks like this. Normally in my region, I wouldn't suggest starting the seeds until April, but I have a greenhouse with a heater, so I'm taking advantage of that. The first thing you do when you're planting the seeds is you have to fill the container with potting mix. I've already gone ahead and done that to save some time. The next thing you do is you grab the seeds, so I'm just grabbing them here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a seed towards the middle, but I'm also going to put a second seed in the container as well. And the reason I'm doing that is in case the seed in the middle doesn't germinate, then I have a second seed as a backup. So then the next thing you need to do is actually put the seeds into the potting mix and push them down 1/4 inch. I have this device that I'm going to use, but you can also use a pencil or a back of a pen. So I'm just pushing it down 1/4 inch. You can see that they've been pushed down, and the last thing I'm going to do is just fill out the top so the holes are covered. And finally, I'm going to add some water. I like to use a spray bottle because it doesn't overwater. I don't want to overwater this, but I need to make sure that there's lots of moisture in the container. Okay, so I've finished planting the seeds, and these will go under some lights, and the lights will only be about a couple inches above here to ensure that the germination works properly. When I repot tomatoes, I don't use a big pot, and here's why. This is ready to pot up, but not into a pot this size. When you use a large pot, you miss out on the opportunity for root development. Instead, I'm going to use a pot this size and repot twice. Each time I'm going to bury the stem deeper. The stem on the tomato produces roots at the sides. That's what creates the root development. And here's how that works. I'm just putting a big hole in my pot, and then I'm going to scoop out the tomato seedling. Put it inside, and I'm burying it right down to the first true leaves. Now it's ready to develop better root system. I'll do it again with the bigger plant, and it'll get even stronger. Today I'm repotting this tomato for a second time. Give me a couple of minutes of your time, and I'll show you why I repot a second time, how I know how to do it, and at the end of the video, I'm going to give a full demonstration on how to do the repot. There's a couple of reasons why I repot a second time. The first is space. Sure, I could put this in the grow bags that I actually have back here, but the problem is I actually have full tomato plants back there, and I want to give them some more time to produce tomatoes before I do that. Now, the second more important reason is I have always found that the more you repot a tomato, the stronger it gets. The further you bury it down, the more roots come out the side, you end up with a stronger plant, and then you end up with more fruit. If you look at the size of these leaves and the size of the container, you can tell they're really hanging over the edge. This plant's going to get root bound and needs to get out of this container. So let's get into the demo right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this container, and I'm going to fill some potting mix into it. And I'm just putting enough so that the tomato's not buried too deep into the container. So I'm just going to add a bit more and put it down here. Now I'm going to take my tomato plant, put it between my fingers, flip it upside down, squeeze the container a bit. And here comes the tomato plant. Putting it into the larger container. I'm going to hold it in place. And I'm going to add potting mix around it. As you can see, I buried it right up to the first leaves. So now I've completed repotting for a second time. If your tomato plants struggle after you transplant, this is probably why. I add bone meal to the hole. It gets the roots started early, and most people miss this. Now here's the big part. I plant my tomato plant earlier than most people do. Deeper plant means stronger roots. It gets established early. I'm going to flip it upside down, pop it out, put it in the hole, and cover it up. If you're transplanting into grow bags, I have a video on that too.